Who are you? What's your role? And where do you work?
Amazing. So my name's Alex Burnett. I'm a enterprise solutions architect and I work at the lovely -0.
A Kubernetes setting can look wrong, but still feel risky to change once it's already in production.
Yep.
Requests, limits, auto-scaling, or probe. What would you tell a team that sees the problem, but is nervous the fix could cause an outage?
Absolutely. So there's a few ways you could do it, right? My kind of normal one that we kind of always tend to say is you wouldn't just have one Kubernetes cluster for production. You'd normally have a test or something that would mirror it. So anything that you feel uncomfortable with, try it in that other cluster first, especially if they're kind of like a mirror setup. You get a bit of confidence from that, and then you're able to comfortably make a change, test it, and then roll that into production. As well, you can also use something like Claude, which is something that we use quite heavily here at Dash. It kind of gives you some insight, especially if you use something like an MCP container that can give you some advice, and then obviously then make the recommendations that you need and give you the confidence to kind of make any changes in your production environment.
Missing readiness checks usually show up through something concrete. Traffic reaches a pod too early, auto-scaling behaves strangely, or users report errors. If a team wanted to catch this before users do, where would you first have them work? Where would you have them look first?
So kubectl is kind of obviously the main place that you could look for certain things weirdly happening, especially when it comes to like readiness probes. Apart from that, we offer a great observability solution here at -0, where you can kind of basically get various insights into your kind of Kubernetes operations. We receive anything that's like a cluster event. So if you kind of do a deployment, if something doesn't look quite right, we can kind of show that up and alert you very quickly if something's not quite right. Likewise, again, kind of Kubernetes MCP server, hook it up to Claude, ask your questions. It's able to kind of query kind of your Kubernetes setup. And again, kind of give you a bit more of an insight and speak, as I like to call it, in a bit more kind of plain language rather than technical jargon, which can sometimes cause a bit of confusion with engineering teams.
Production readiness reviews can happen before launch, after incidents, during audits, or not formally at all. What would you put in place so Kubernetes readiness gets reviewed before it becomes urgent?
Absolutely. So, I mean, this kind of forms maybe a little bit of kind of like a DevOps action. So we're constantly reviewing kind of like our code when we release it, and we always bring observability into the forefront of that. It should be something that you're constantly reviewing, maybe every time that you do a release. And, if there's something missing, maybe bring that into it there and then pretty much and make those changes. It's very much the case, don't leave it in the background because you'll never do it. It never happens. You then forget it. Something big happens and you're like, hindsight is a great thing.
You mentioned Claude earlier.
Yeah.
We're here at KCD Helsinki. Plenty of people are talking about AI. What are things that you're comfortable using AI for on Kubernetes? And what are things you'd say, it's not quite ready for you yet?
So for me, for Claude, I mean, the Anthropic models, 9 times out of 10, pretty good and don't rarely hallucinate for me. I'm very happy for it to do kind of like read requests. So I'm happy for it to look at getting configuration. I'm happy to, I use it heavily at my job to kind of pull like kind of conversational data to kind of identify if customers are asking for certain things. At the moment, I'm not comfortable with it making any sort of change live. Not because I don't trust it, but just because I think it still hallucinates a little bit. And the last thing I'd want it to do is have it hallucinate in a production environment that causes chaos. But to read data and understand kind of things, I'm more than happy and comfortable to use it like that.